So my name is Youssef Haider. I am the founder and CEO of Stone Pine Capital Partners. Stone Pine Capital Partners is a Dubai-based asset manager with a primary focus on private equity in emerging markets. What drives me is the excitement of building great companies, creating value, the pleasure of working with highly motivated and smart people. Again, I work with an industry that where a lot of this is actually possible and where someone can actually see the fruits of their labor on a day-to-day basis. I've been involved with multiple ventures over the years and seen young companies grow and thrive over the years. My current passion is my current firm, Stone Pine Capital Partners, and working with my team every day to see the company grow, adding more people, more partners, more deals and more funds under management gives me a lot of drive. It is basically continuous development. It's a journey at the end of the day, and it's one where you're focused on just becoming more capable, more enlightened, and more certain of everything. If you approach success from that perspective, you can, in my mind, create long-term perspective. It's always starting with yourself and then projecting outwards. And I found that if you do that, external success inevitably follows. As an entrepreneur, you need to make decisions every day. Unless you have a framework to make a certain decision, you're never going to be sure enough to push through. And those types of small successes or personal developments, all they do is give you a framework to work with, a framework to make a decision, and a framework to react to a certain event. I can obviously point out to a lot of sort of a good deal I did or a great exit I did, and all those could be successes, but in my mind those were really the result of everything that happens behind that. And what happens behind that is your personal development and the frameworks you create for yourself to be able to be a successful businessman. I view technology as really a means to an end and not an end in and of itself. It's really a tool that can make individuals more productive. It's a tool that can make companies more efficient, more effective, communities more connected, and if adequately used, it can make the world a better place. It can make the world a much more competitive place, but certainly as a force for good, it can make the world a better place. And it just creeps in, to your earlier question, it just creeps into every single aspect of your life now. You simply need technology. In an entrepreneurial setting, you could do away with 4 or 5 basically roles in an organization through technology. Again, it's the good side of it is it's a force for good. As I said, it creates a lot more competition, but it does allow you to become an entrepreneur and to set up companies with very little capital, and creates a bit of a level playing field between all entrepreneurs. It's a bit unclear to me why we still call it a mobile device, because the reality of it, or a phone, sorry, to be more precise, because the reality of it is we don't use it a lot to make phone calls anymore. It's 90% of the usage of this device goes towards doing work in an everyday setting. So it's absolutely integral. I spend hours looking at the phone, whether it's reading documents or sending emails or sending messages or scanning documents or signing documents. If you think of the way it sort of enters every single little task of your life, where you realize that this is really the most central technological device in a person's world. It allows you to become much more connected, and you can basically do your work from anywhere in the world if you have a good device with you. To me, this is really a working device. So I look at phones from that perspective. The screen is great, which is something that's integral for a working device. The battery life is absolutely great because the last thing you want to do is really run out of battery. And this is a device that you spend hours on every day. It's got a great camera. I use it a lot to scan documents, so it's really useful there. The 2 SIM card functionality is absolutely brilliant because you rack up a lot of phone bills when you travel between countries, and it's always perplexes me why not more providers of handsets do this, but quite useful and ultimately a great operating system. So I think all in all, a very solid working device. I have the pleasure of working with a lot of entrepreneurs in my career and with my team every day, and I view my team as entrepreneurs as well. So we have a lot of those discussions, and to me it's a lot of factors. To take them sequentially, I think first and foremost, people need to find what they're really passionate about. You know, Galileo says passion is the genesis of genius, and if you need to find the genius in you, you really need to find something you're passionate about. I think once you do that, you need to be proactive and bold and go after it. A lot of people have incredible talents and incredible ideas, but they just lack that push. And I think being proactive is a state of mind. And my second advice is, if you find something passionate about, just go after it. And be ready to dedicate yourself truly and wholeheartedly to it. I think third is, I would say, be bold and dream big. And don't be scared of failure. I think the only real failure in life, in my mind, is the failure to try. The fourth thing I would say is surround yourself with good people, because you're never going to do this by yourself. I think the sooner you realize this, the more likely you're going to be successful. Have a great team, have a great system around you, surround yourself with good people, it will get you far. I think the next thing I would say is be ready for a rocky ride. You know, it's not going to be easy, so you need to embrace uncertainty. You need to struggle well, as they say. I've always found that the truest measure of success is how one deals with adversity. So it's absolutely essential to expect that it's going to be tough, but to deal with it and to always try to find the actual gems in misfortune. There's always opportunities there. So if you approach misfortune with the right mindset, you're always going to find the opportunities packaged within that. I think next thing I would say is be a reader and be a learner. You're never going to live long enough to learn it all by practice. So the cheapest thing you can do is just buy a book and read it, and there's enormous wisdom in books of people who've tried it before. The next thing I would say is really have an extracurricular activity or two. It's, you know, entrepreneurs rarely have time because you're trying to build your dream. But extracurricular activities are absolutely critical. They help you clear your mind, they help you be creative, which is something that's absolutely essential to succeed. You know, for me personally, as I said earlier, I mean, I do long distance endurance races, I do triathlons, and I use my training sessions as a way to clear my mind and to plan my course, and I think it's absolutely essential that entrepreneurs have that. And the final thing is to really push every morning, you know, take control of your destiny and push towards your target. The end result is an absolutely great place. To me, I view it personally as a process. You need to first dedicate time to think. I think not a lot of people do that. I try to religiously spend a certain amount of time, 1, 2, 3 hours every morning, in just thinking, uninterrupted by technology or anything else. Thinking gives me the ability to plan, and then I just move from conceptualization to actualization in the second part of the day. And that's why when I work with my team and I try to proactively come up with a course of action to try to realize some of those plans. So it's basically a combination of everything we've discussed. It's spending time to think, it's spending time to plan, it's actually making things happen proactively and not waiting for things to happen and react to them. and I just try to always, and I've been blessed in having a great team in all of my career, including my current team. And, you know, together we can really drive and create a big impact. And that's a daily activity, you know, that's something I start every day with that plan, and I try to close it on that note.